Welcome everyone, or welcome back to our channel. This is Lincoln and I'm Elizabeth. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about what I feed my dogs and how much it costs to feed 3 dogs. So I'm going to be covering their age, what I feed them, how much I feed them, when I feed them, and how much it costs. I'll give you like a minimum range. So I've noticed that I tend to get kind of nervous when it comes to the topic of what I feed my dogs. It's the same way that many of us moms feel when it comes to the topic of what we feed our kids. And I will go over what I believe on my views with kibble versus raw food. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to change your mind on whether kibble or raw is the best or which is the best. This is just an inside look to what I feed my dogs. We all eat processed foods. It's unavoidable. As long as you're aware and you try, that's the best that anyone can ask of you. So let's get straight into the topics. So I have 3 dogs and my oldest would be my Doberman, Nixie, and she is 4.5 years old, and my middle one, she's a Rottweiler and she is 1.5 years, and of course Lincoln, he's my youngest and he's going to be 9 months old in 5 days. So the big question, what do I feed them, kibble or raw? Well, I do both. The majority of the time I will feed kibble. I do want to get them on more raw foods. If we're just talking about cost analysis, then I'll just be discussing on how much it costs to just feed on a basic kibble, and maybe if you want to add some treats here and there, then that would just be a side additional. So with the kibble that I feed them right now, it's a 30-pound bag, and I haven't seen that brand in a larger size, but that one is for larger breeds. It has glucosamine and chondroitin that's good for joint health. In the backs of the kibbles, it will normally give you a guideline of what to follow based off of your dog's weight, and I use that just as a guideline. Since every dog is different, their activity level, metabolism all plays into how much you should be feeding your dog. A good way to gauge on whether you're underfeeding or overfeeding is to feel along the backs of your dog's spine. You shouldn't be able to feel it right away, like feel bony. That means they're underweight. It should just feel like there's a good amount of cushion but still be able to feel the bone. And if you cannot feel it at all, if it's kind of hard, you have to push down real hard to feel it, or you can't feel it at all, then they could be overweight or obese. So just based off of their structure, their body size will determine whether you should cut back or add a little bit more to their daily diet. So what I feed them is the recommended amount of kibble, chicken stock or beef stock. I'll do an egg each about twice a week, a can of sardines about once a week, a little squirt of some fish oil about 3 to 5 times a week, a 1/3 cup of a frozen meat ready mix, and a digestive enzyme powder. I won't give that daily. I will do that maybe about 3 to 5 times a week. Now, how much do I feed them? For my oldest and my middle one, Misty and Nixie, they will get the same amounts since they are about the same weight and about the same activity level. So for them two, they would have 3 cups of kibble a day. In the morning, they will get just 1 cup and 2 cups at night. And then Lincoln will have 4 cups of kibble a day. For the kibble, the suggestions are about 3 cups for my 2 older dogs and 4 cups for my youngest one, which is my Corso, Lincoln. The broth, I don't have a measurement. I just make sure that the kibble floats. For the frozen meat mix, I put 1/3 of a cup for each a day. I'll do the salmon oil, just a little squirt in there about 3 times a week. The digestive enzyme powder, I'll do a teaspoon each about 3 to 5 times a week. Sardines about once a week, and then the eggs and the eggshells about 2 times a week. And I cook the eggs for the older 2 because they don't like it raw, and Lincoln, he will eat pretty much anything, so he'll eat it raw. So I feed all my dogs 2 times a day, and I will divide their food. Lincoln will be split down the middle, and the older 2 will get 1 cup in the morning and the 2 cups at night. I do also include raw meats and I will give them chicken, including the bone, a couple times during the week. So instead of giving them the kibble, I will replace it with the quarter leg chicken. And like I said, later in the future I do want to increase them to eat more raw than kibble, and then I do try to change up their kibble, their flavors and whatnot. The way I like to think about it, it's like eating the same cereal every single day for the rest of your life. That's very boring and kind of sad. We all have variety, and that's how we get most of our nutrients, through the variety of foods that we eat. So it's the same with our dogs and our kids. And then with the stock or the broth that I add to the kibbles, the way I like to see that as well, it's like eating your cereal dry. I don't think that's a very pleasant experience, especially since it's hot, it's summer, and they're gonna need that extra hydration. So it's better to, even if you can't do broth, you can always just add water. And the broth that I use is unsalted. Make sure it's unsalted. So when doing the calculations and continuing to feed them the recommended amount, of course it's gonna change since Lincoln, he is gaining more weight. He will have to eat more in the future. So it could change, it could get a little bit more, but it should be marginal. So when calculating it, it turns out that for the kibble, it's costing me $2.50 a day. And then for the broth, it's costing me $1.50 a day, since I go through a whole carton every 2 days. So the cartons, I could find them for $3 each. And the kibble, the 30-pound bag of kibble, I buy it for $30 each, and that will last me 12 days. So if we're just looking at kibble and the chicken stock, it's costing me $4 a day to feed my 3 dogs. Now, of course, when you add more things, it raises the price. For me, I do have chickens in my backyard, so my chicken eggs are free. But now when you consider they're having to pay for the chicken food. And then I do have a vegetable garden growing in the back, so I will give them some whatever I have growing, carrots or kale, whatever's in season. Now that's what I feed my 3 dogs and how much it costs me. And this is my personal opinion, my personal decisions that I make for my kids and what I agree with. What I do might look different from what you do or what you choose to do, and that's okay. As long as your fur babies are fed, well fed, and loved and cared for, that's all that really matters. Alright, so this is just a look into what I feed my dogs. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also check out the description down below for more information, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. We have a TikTok and an Instagram. And thanks for watching. See you in my next video.